Hey folks, how are you all doing? Now, welcome to this 15 to 30 minutes Facebook Live slash video, which will be covering 10 things to do this month. Now, I do this every month for the Grow Community, which is our free Facebook group. If you're watching this outside of the community, please go to Facebook and search Grow Community. It's my free community where every month I basically throw out 10 things that I personally have been doing or will be doing this month, and I think you should as well. So that's the idea. And these 10 things are going to help you grow yourself, grow your business, and grow your community. They're the 3 pillars that we work on here at Grow. And so today is the 10 things to do in September. You know, it's quite straightforward. I say every month we do this. So thank you very much if you're watching live, and even thank you very, very, very much if you're watching on the replay. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to celebrate how we've got through some massively hard times. We don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months, but just the sheer fact to actually sit down and go, just take 5 and go, whew, it's okay. You know, the way I'm feeling is okay. The thing that's happening around us, if it's in our control, in our circle of influence, we can do something about it. That's okay. If it's outside, then we can't affect it. That's okay. Just celebrate and relax. Just take 5 and celebrate and relax, because we have been through a tough time. And talking to people, some people say that we're kind of getting over it. Some people have accepted it and changed what they've been doing. As I talk today, the kids in this area have gone back to school, and people are working, shops are open. So it's developing, but celebrate. Celebrate where you are as of today. And remember, this is just a snapshot of time. You'll find out in a couple of years' time, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, we'll look back at this with a different view of what we're experiencing at the moment. So celebrate it. Celebrate it and say it's okay. Next up, number 2, is I want you to create an opportunity. I want you to create an opportunity to help to tell your story in a different place. Now, what I mean by this is organise with someone a Facebook Live so you can develop and tell your story. I want you to kind of get onto a podcast. I want you to get onto a video. I want you to go join a live stream. I want you to have the guts and the ability and the confidence to do a video. Write that blog, but create an opportunity for you. And if it's not on social media, it's all good. You know, do it in print. You know, start a collaboration. Have those conversations that mean that you're going to get your story, your expertise into a different place. Create an opportunity today. And hey, it might not be for another month or so, but that's fine. That's okay, because what you're doing is you're setting the seed, you're planting the seed to tell your story in different places. And if it gives value to one person or thousands of people, hey, it's worth it. So create an opportunity, please, and tell me. Send me a message. Let me know how you're getting on with creating opportunities. And if you need to get onto a podcast, a video, a live stream, or you want to, not sure how to do it technically, give me a shout. I'm happy to help anyone in here, anyone watching a video, with either a free 10-minute one or a slightly longer session if need be. But please, create an opportunity. The easiest way is to ask. You know, if people you know run networking events, if people you know run Facebook groups, if people you know run magazines, then people you know run podcasts, you've got the opportunity to help those people by sharing your knowledge. And it could be throwing them a message to say, hey, can I do a Facebook Live in your group? Hey, can I speak at one of your networking events? Have you got any dates free? Hey, I've got this blog which would be really good in your magazine. Do you mind if I send it to you? It's as simple as that. Throw the message out there. It doesn't have to be complicated. But have those conversations. Steph Thomas, the author of Networking for Dummies, always says that every big opportunity starts with a small conversation. And over the last couple of months, I've been drilling on about this. And please, don't ignore it. Plant those seeds and create those opportunities starting today. Next up is know your audience. What I want you to do is to really kind of understand who your audiences are and what mediums they love to enjoy and they engage with their content in. So are they readers? Do they love reading kind of books? Do they love reading blogs on Medium? Do they love reading LinkedIn articles? Do they read the news and magazines? Do they love kind of audio stimulation? So do they listen to podcasts? Do they listen to radio shows? Those kind of things. Do they watch? So are they visual? So do they watch Facebook Lives, or do they not because they haven't got the captions underneath it? Do they watch videos? Do they go onto YouTube and watch video after video after video? Do you get what I mean? I want you to really drill down and understand your audience's habits and behaviours. Because what you can do, once you've got that information, once you know who your audience is, you can start to produce content. Not only that's going to give them value, but also you're going to be able to do it in a medium that they want to engage with. Now, how powerful is that? You're talking to your audience, you're giving them value in the medium, in the methods that they enjoy. It sounds simple, but so many people don't do it. And for me, this is rule 101 in marketing. You get your product or your service or your message in front of your target market at the time when they're wanting to buy. It's selling 101. And all we're doing is we're changing that and tweaking that to make it suitable for marketing and social media. So know your audience. Also know what your audience are feeling and talking about. Are they excited for all the schools kind of going back? Have they been taking part in the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, which happened in August? Are they looking at their businesses in the next kind of couple of months and going, yeah, we're okay? Or are they struggling? How are they at home? How are they there? The more stuff you can learn about the customers, the better placed you're going to be to help them. So please know your audience, know their habits, behaviours, not just on socials, but also in real life as well. And remember, if they hang out on different platforms like LinkedIn, Pinterest, instead of, as well as even Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, then please post in those places. Post where your customers are. The more chance of doing this, the more times you do it, the easier it's going to be. The easier it is going to be. Next up, and I'm going to say the C word, let's talk about Christmas. As we're recording this, it's the 2nd of September, and do you know what? Christmas is just around the corner. In retail terms, people have been planning Christmas for ages, or it's been on a slight back burner, over the last couple of months, but people are still thinking about it. And actually, it's only about 90 odd days, 100 days away. It's not that long away. It really isn't. So start planning what you're going to be posting out in December and January. What products are you going to be focusing on? What services can you offer? Does your business go quiet? Does it get busier? Have a think about all these different things and think about the content you're going to start releasing. You might decide on a campaign that starts in November and covers December. That's great. Now is the time to start creating the content. You have time. Time is so powerful. So start thinking about it. Are you going to do an advent calendar where you release a different piece of content each day leading up to Christmas? Could be an idea. Are you going to send promo stuff out like pens and cups and all that kind of stuff? These kind of bits. Are you going to be sending these stuff out to your customers or your suppliers or your staff for Christmas? Are you going to be actually give them advent calendars, physical advent calendars to enjoy? All of this stuff, you've got the time now to be able to plan. And with promo items, you might not have a budget for. That's all good. There's loads of free stuff you can do online to help people, and it could be by releasing a new piece of content each day during December. All good. But now is the time to plan it. I'm doing different talks leading up to Christmas all about this, and I've done 2 of them so far, and I've got another one tomorrow. And it's really cool to talk to people now about it, because if you talk to people in December, it's too late. Their customers are already thinking about Christmas at that time. So you should really start to be ahead of your customers in terms of their thinking process. So start planning for Christmas. If you're in the events business, what does events look like at Christmas? Also, for plan for Christmas, have a think about, just while I'm on a topic, whether we're in lockdown or we open. Maybe have a plan for both. That way, it worst comes to the worst, you've still got a plan that you can implement. The main thing is plan. Plan for Christmas. Plan, and it will go, the time between now and then will go so quickly that you'll be happy that you've made the plan now. And if you make loads of plans and the time isn't there for you, don't worry about it. Use it for next year. A good plan doesn't work unless you take action. So the main thing is think about when you can take the action. Plan now. Plan now. But plan for Christmas, honestly, it's going to be worth it. Remember, as I'm recording this, it's the 2nd of September. Christmas is, it's a good few months away. But it's going to go really quickly. And if you think back, actually, mid-May, how quickly has time passed between mid-May and now? Well, that's the same time as you've got until Christmas. Start planning. Point number 5, I want you to ask a question. And that question is, what makes you remarkable? What makes you, as a person and your business, what makes you remarkable? Now, business coach to the stars, Ian Dixon, asked me this question in a one-to-one networking meeting, and it floored me because I couldn't answer him. But it's so powerful. This is so powerful. And if you think about the question, what makes you remarkable? Well, actually, that also stands for what makes you, how do you stand out to your competitors? How are you remarkable to your customers and clients? Are you giving massive value? Is it the way you work? Is it because you understand them? Is it because you always deliver what you're going to say you're going to deliver? What makes you remarkable? Just ask yourself that question. Maybe write it down on a piece of paper. Next point to that is start thinking about how you can make your customers remarkable as well. So if you're an events company, how can you make your event remarkable? If your client is a stationery company, how can you make their services, their products look remarkable? It's so powerful. It doesn't stop just with you. It carries on all the way through. So ask yourself that question. What makes you remarkable? What makes your business remarkable? And how can you make your clients, your products, your services remarkable? And do you know what? I'm all for done is better than a perfect approach when it comes to marketing and products. You can always refine different things here. But we're not talking about refining. We're talking about making the great remarkable. We're talking about making it that extra step. Dialing it up to 11 on the amplifier. That's what we want to do. So please ask yourself that question. What makes you remarkable? Write it down on a bit of paper. Do 4 squares. First one, what makes me remarkable? Second square, what makes my business remarkable? Third one, what makes my products and services remarkable? And fourth one, how can I make my clients, my customers remarkable? Do that, and I'll guarantee you, if you start working towards remarkable, then good just isn't going to cut it. You are going to go sky high. Trust me. I did this exercise a couple of months ago, and it changed my outlook. It was brilliant. So please, don't accept just good. Go for remarkable. Number 6, as I said before, we're just talking about going remarkable. I want you to learn a key phrase, and that is done is better than perfect. If you're starting out on your journey in terms of learning a new skill, you're not going to be remarkable. However, you can get your content out there. And if you kind of look at where I'm going with all of this, I'm talking about creating opportunities. I'm talking about knowing your audience. I'm talking about how to help you tell your story online. Now, by putting all those together, you might be doing a new medium that you're not too sure about, like podcasting, live streaming, writing kind of extended prose. Now, you might not be the best at these, but getting it out there to your target audience is better than not getting it out there at all. As long as it's good, it represents your company in a good light, it's good getting it out of there rather than holding back. Don't wait for perfection if you're launching something brand new. All of that stuff can come. This is where outsourcing comes in. If you're starting something new, there's going to be people in your field, people who you know in your network, who have been there and done that. It's natural and that's fine. So what I'd suggest you doing, if you're starting out on a new venture this month, get people's opinions, get people's ideas about what you should do. I'm no copywriter, so when I wanted a copy for Grow Live, guess what I did? I went to a copywriter. I'm no branding expert, so when I wanted a logo for Grow Live, which is a 2-day event that I've just organised for September, guess where I went to? I went to my designer. Yeah, it's simple, but I don't want to do it if actually I can get it to someone else who can. But I wanted the information out there. Done is better than perfect. If you're starting anything, you can refine it. I've been doing a talk recently about podcasting, and I mentioned in that you can add different things to your podcast over time. You can add a PDF about the format and questions that you can ask speakers to make it easy for them. You can upgrade to a online system for your booking. You can start to use software on your computer to make it quicker and more straightforward to edit rather than doing it on your phone. You can upgrade your equipment at any time, and that's all good. But getting it out there is one of the most important things. People are paralysed, and I say paralysed, by not taking action because they're scared of people's negative reactions to the actions that they're going to take. This isn't the way we should live our lives. We should weigh it up to see actually, what's the best case scenario, what's the worst case scenario, and what's the most likely. And if you're happy with the worst, and your worst is done rather than your most likely, or your best case scenario being perfect, get it out there. Done is better than perfect. So please start to create those opportunities, and then you can refine them over time. Talking to someone else earlier on today about public speaking, and you don't become a great public speaker just by doing one talk. You do it over a period of time. You refine your technique. You look at other speakers and see what they're doing. And then you get better and better and better over time. So done is better than perfect. Wins 9 times out of 10. That post that you send out is going to be better than the post you don't send out. So please don't be paralysed by fear. Done is better than perfect. I'm just going to recap at this point because I've done the first 6 points before we go on to point number 7. So number 1 was all about celebrating where you are at this particular time in your life, in your business. Number 2, create an opportunity. Get a public speaking gig, get a podcast booking, do a Facebook Live, do a video, that kind of stuff. Create an opportunity, do it today. Know your audience was number 3. Number 4 was plan for Christmas. It's going to be here in no time, folks. Number 5, what makes you remarkable? Ask yourself that question and do that quick exercise that I mentioned. Number 6, done is better than perfect. And here is number 7. Now, if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments or chat below, and I will answer them at the end, or if it's relevant, I will answer them during the topics. So number 7 is spend some time for yourself. Now, I recently, at the start of start of July, I took a bit of time off me. And you know what? It was lovely. It was lovely. I read some comics, I listened to some podcasts, I didn't do much work, and I chilled. And what I did, it gave me some time in here. Now, I'm not going to suggest you need to take 2 weeks to do that. Some people will be able to refresh after a weekend. Taking, difference between you staying at home and going out somewhere, and different 4 walls, different people, different location, can really refresh your mind, your body, and also give you that oomph that kind of takes you to the next level. But if you can't do that, you can't spend it over 2 weeks, you can't spend it every weekend, just spend 10 minutes. Find 10 minutes in your day just to relax, or just to spend time. It could be listening to your favourite song. It could be watching your favourite TV programme. It could be turning your phone off and going for a walk and enjoying nature. Just spend 10 minutes relaxing. 10 minutes relaxing. And I I'm a big believer in morning routine. I love my 10 minutes of meditation each morning. It gives me focus, it relaxes me, and it means that I'm actually calmer for the rest of the day. So can you spend 10 minutes today relaxing? Is that hard? If it is, your priorities might be out. If not, cool. But I would ask you to spend 10 minutes. And hey, if you can spend a day or so relaxing, even better, a week. If you need to plan it in, plan some time in. Plan some time in. If you know that September's going to be manic, plan some downtime in October. But please, spend some time for yourself. Just take 10 minutes and you will feel so much better. Even if it's 10 minutes of just sitting down and doing nothing. That's one of the hardest things to do if you're busy or if your mind's busy. Just stop it. But I can guarantee you it's going to work. Nice breathing exercise to do to kind of solve that is you breathe in for 4, you hold your breath for 4, then you breathe out for 8. And that just relaxes me. It makes it so simple. And it doesn't take long. And you do that for a minute and you feel better. Before I go live, I always like just to sit down for a little bit and just relax, calm myself down, which is actually the opposite of what I used to do. I used to build myself up, get really energetic, get the adrenaline going, yeah. Now I calm. And by going calm, I've got more energy because actually I've got more time. I've slowed my body down, I've slowed my mind down. I know what I'm talking about. I've got my plan. So why do I need to get for it? I can ramp it up. My mannerisms are such that, I'm on the go most of the time. But I don't need the adrenaline to do that. I can do it calm. Just spend some time for yourself. And if you can't do 10 minutes a day, fine. Plan some time in. Even if it's just for a minute, slow down. The slower you go, the faster you will get to your destination. It makes sense. It makes sense. Next one is, what is your one thing? Now, I recently read the book, The One Thing. It's that book Just There by Gary Keller with Jay Papasan. So cool. So cool. And it talks about a number of different things. The one thing that I just want to mention to you is the one question to ask yourself each day, and actually each time you do a task. And that is, what is the one thing that's going to make everything else irrelevant, easier, or just not important? Now, if you keep doing that one thing each day, you are going to be pushing yourself forward. You're going to be making everything else simpler. And it really resonates with me. Because if you've got a to-do list of about 30 jobs, you can look down that job list and go, well, actually, is any of these going to make everything else easier or not relevant? And they're the most important things to do. Sometimes you have to eat the frog, as Brian Tracy says. You've got to do that call. You've got to go to that meeting, and that's fine. But the rest of the stuff, you can look at it and go, do you know what? If I did this, would it make everything else easier? And I'll give you an example of this. In January, I decided to automate as many processes as I could in my business. So I got Xero accounting software to make my invoicing simpler. That saved me probably about 2 hours each month, just in one session, just by having that and be able to send invoices out dead quickly. Simple. Not even the amount of times it's taken, the amount of time it saved me finding invoices, resending invoices, chasing invoices, getting statements, tax return, all that stuff. It's made it so simple. One simple change, getting the accounting software, massive time saving. Second point I did in January was I automated my booking system for my podcast. So I used an online booking system called Acuity Scheduling. I put a PDF to make it easier for the speakers to know what is going to come up, and I put my availability in there. That saved me per episode, no word of a lie, probably a good hour and a half per episode, just by going back and forth with the speaker. I can literally just send them a link, they can book it in, they can book themselves on it. It's so simple, and it looks really professional. The other thing I did was I changed the way I edited software. edited podcasts, so therefore I did it on my computer, got a new software called Audacity, dead simple to install. Once you learn how to do it, it saves so much time. And now every podcast episode in terms of editing only takes me about 15 minutes to half hour, which is great. It cuts down the time massively. So remember, the one question is what is the one task, one job I should do today to make everything else easier or not relevant? So ask yourself that question, and please check out this book. I've read it once. I'm going to read it a number of different times. It is so cool. If you're in my Grow Inner Circle, we're going to have a month full of challenges based on this book. It's brilliant. Next up is I want you to review your social media profiles. Now, what I mean by that is obviously you can do the cosmetic stuff. You can do the kind of the profile picture, the background pictures, the description, the websites, the username. You can do that kind of stuff. And you can do that on all the different platforms. Make sure they are all up to date. What I want you to also do is to look at your own social media. So you as a person, so me as Gary, are you using it? Are you hiding behind your brand? Are you focusing too much on your business and not enough on your personal? Have you got an outlet for you? And if you haven't, might be some miss there. Came to me in August. I wanted to post something about me, and I had nowhere to post it because I was purely focused on my business. Of course, I had my personal profile and I had my on Facebook and Twitter, but I never used it. And Instagram. Now I've started to use it. I'm posting about me, and it is so refreshing. So refreshing. So when I'm talking about reviewing social media profiles, I'm talking about reviewing all of them. I'm talking about reviewing your own as well as your business. Also, think about what messages you're sending out on socials, and that includes your newsletters as well. Let's make it no bones about it. Your newsletters, your website, so your outward communication. Review what information you're sending out, and do they need a separate profile? For instance, Grow Marketing Media is all about helping people tell their story online. And Grow Marketing Media focuses on podcasting, live streaming, and video as the three main ways of doing it. So in theory, my Grow Marketing Media pages and messages should reflect those three bits. However, they don't. They're very heavy on the podcast, very heavy on the Grow Show podcast, with a blog going out there every week about the new show, about things that are coming up. So I decided to change that, and I've set up separate social media profiles for the Grow Show. And they are going to be on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's going to be followed with a new website in the new year, but for now, social channels, which means that once I've got all the information sorted, guess what? I'm going to have two profiles. Grow Marketing Media, where I'm going to be helping people with podcast, video and live streaming on those three. And I'm going to have the Grow Show, which is going to have new episodes, up and coming episodes, featured guests, and also possibly sponsorship. It gives, this more oomph than rather than that. Two platforms. I've got two accounts to help people, with learning, educating, and engaging with. It's going to be so cool. So review your social profiles. Review yours, your businesses, the messages, as well as the actual profiles itself. Check it out. And last but not least, don't forget to like, comment, share information. And please talk to people. Social is social, people. Don't worry about just sending messages. Sell. The magic doesn't happen when you send a message out like that. The magic happens in between it. The magic happens when you like something, when you comment with someone, when you share something that gives value to your audience. The main thing is like, comment, share. Create the content. Put it into a scheduling tool. But use your time to talk to people. If you're at networking meetings online or in person, spend your time listening, getting to know the people, and then once they got to know you, they're more likely to buy from you. But please engage with people, like, comment, share, online as well as offline. So that's my 10 things to do this month. I'm going to quickly recap. So number 1 is celebrate where you are now. Number 2, create an opportunity for yourself. Number 3, Know your audience. Number 4, plan for Christmas. Number 5, ask yourself a question, what makes you remarkable? Number 6, done is better than perfect. Number 7, spend some time for yourself. Number 8, what is your one thing? What's the one thing that's going to make your life easier and make everything else not really relevant? Check out this book, One Thing. For one thing even. Number 9, review your socials. Do you need to change your messaging? Do you need to change your accounts that you're working on? And number 10, have fun, and remember, social is social. Have fun, like, comment and share. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to grab some lunch. Thank you very much for your time. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments, put them in the chat, and I'll answer them later. There'll be another one of these next month. And where you're watching this now, I'll post it there as well. But this is my 10 things to do in September. My name has been Gary Jones from Grow. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all very soon. Gary out. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.